Integrity is not just about lying. I am beginning to like this person, and if I don't put right measures in place, I might, and not, I've got this. Nothing will happen. Make our conscience the springboard of our actions and not merely our reputation. Hi there, welcome to this channel once again. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Leah. I'm a Christian with my faith influencing other spheres I'm privileged to occupy. I'm also a medical doctor with interest in holistic health. I'm a drama minister, a blogger, and a YouTuber. I'm also a personal development and fashion enthusiast. So today we'll be talking about integrity. What about integrity? So yeah, I'm reminded about someone who had told me she gave out her blender to someone only for the blender to be returned looking dirty and whatnot. She then called to ask what went wrong, and she was told the blender was used to blend turmeric. Okay, that's alright, but at least courtesy would have demanded that would have been shared with the person who gave out the blender. The worst part, there was no remorse felt, and this got me thinking about how we are losing touch with virtues like integrity under the guise of, oh, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Does it matter?
Integrity is not just about lying. It encompasses many virtues, like candor, uprightness, rectitude, honesty, and probity. I would like to think of integrity in three parts. The first, which is personal integrity. The saying, "To thine own self be true," is true. Personal integrity would have us to be true to our emotions and not betray, dismiss, or rationalize, but to recognize them as signals to something worthy of consideration. Personal integrity would appear as saying, "I'm hurt."
I'm hurt. I'm actually hurt.
And not, "It's fine." I feel betrayed and disappointed, and not, "It's okay." I am beginning to like this person, and if I don't put right measures in place, I might, and not, "I've got this." Nothing will happen. Personal integrity is also about how we mean everything we say and say everything we mean. That our yes is a yes.
Yes.
And no is a no. No mind games whatsoever. Personal integrity would also have us compliment people with the right adjectives, not just with sensual things. Personal integrity is also about how we acknowledge our toxic traits and weaknesses. We don't deny them, but we're courageous to embrace a change and not saying,
"It's who I am. I don't care what they think."
Personal integrity would come off also like saying, "I didn't really prepare for the exam, and I think that was why I failed." Moving on to the next form of integrity, which is integrity with God. A man can only have a relationship with God as deeply as he's met himself. Owning up to your inner self that no one knows about, confessing without a mask or facade, and trusting God to help. And like C.S. Lewis said, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's watching. And that would have us make our conscience the springboard of our actions and not merely our reputation, which would inevitably make us the same person privately and publicly. Upholding integrity with God would also help us to maintain right character even in the face of hardship, just like Job. Moving on to the last form of integrity, which is social integrity, which is the integrity we maintain while relating with others. In social integrity, we are able to treat everybody well, regardless of their status, age, or gender. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Having social integrity would also make us mean what we say and say what we mean. It will help us to keep to time and promises. Now, I remember an attendant at work who brought this Ashebi package for her mother's burial. And at the time, I had to promise her that, okay, by the end of the month, I would give you something. That was the mistake I made. I mentioned a specific amount to her. When it was time for me to redeem that vow, I didn't have so much. And I thought I was going to reduce what I wanted to give to her until I shared with the nurse, who told me it's better to pull through the promise I made, and that I had to do. Having integrity with others would also make us keep confidential things even after a fallout. Businesses leverage on this while branding. Politicians include it in their manifesto and they call it credibility. Organizations factor this in while recruiting people. God calls it righteousness. Integrity determines the consistency of all the other values you can think of. It determines the depth and strength of character. Self-awareness and self-development might not be possible without it. To the many chaos we have in our country and the world at large, foundationally, there is usually a breach in integrity. People do not say the truth about who they really are, what they really need, or want from relationships from the get-go. Politicians embezzle funds and build lesser quality than expected with, of course, dilapidated structures. People giving positive details on their CVs only to become mediocres at their workplace. The church really doesn't encourage people to open up to their addictions, and so all we have is pretense and hypocrisy. Until we return to embracing integrity in every sphere of interest, chaos would be inevitable. And like it said, righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to any people. Is it possible to fall out? Yes, I've been there before, and I hope never to. Sometimes you never know the beauty of godly values until you err and see the catastrophe that comes with it. And should you sleep like me, may you embrace the courage to snap back to what is true and godly. Thank you very much. If you're inspired by this, please do not fail to drop your comments below. Do not hesitate to like this video, then share with other people.